You know that feeling when you have a huge goal in front of you and absolutely no idea where to start? Maybe it's launching a business, planning a product, building an app, or even organizing something as personal as a wedding. The goal is clear. The chaos is clearer. That's exactly where project management walks in and changes everything. Today, we are going to break down what project management actually is, why it matters more than most people realize, and how professionals use it to turn big messy goals into real, finished results. No jargon, no textbook language, just the real stuff. Let's get into it. What even is a project? Before we talk about managing projects, we need to agree on one thing. What exactly is a project? Here's the simplest definition you'll ever hear. A project is a temporary effort to create something unique. That's it. Temporary, meaning it has a beginning and an end. It doesn't go on forever. Unique, meaning the outcome is something new. Something that didn't exist before. Think about it this way. Building a bridge, that's a project. It starts, it gets built, and eventually it's done. But maintaining that bridge every year after it's built? That's operations. That's ongoing, repetitive work. The difference matters a lot. Launching a new product, project. Running daily customer support, operations. Developing a mobile app, project. Managing a server every day, operations. Projects have goals. Projects have deadlines. Projects produce something that didn't exist before. And because projects are temporary, they come with pressure. They come with limited time, limited budget, and a team that needs to work together. That's why managing them well is such a valuable skill. So what is project management? Project management is the discipline of planning, organizing, and guiding a project from start to finish, so that it's delivered on time, within budget, and actually meets the goal it was supposed to meet. Simple in theory, complicated in practice. Think of a project manager like the conductor of an orchestra. Every musician in that orchestra is talented. The violinists know their part. The drummers know their rhythm. The brass section knows their cues. But without a conductor keeping everyone in sync, pointing at the right section at the right moment, you'd have noise, not music. That's the project manager. They don't play every instrument, but they make sure every instrument plays at the right time. Their job involves defining the goal clearly, building a realistic plan, assembling the right team, tracking progress, solving problems as they come up, and communicating with everyone who has a stake in the outcome. And trust me, that last one, communication, takes up way more time than people expect. The three constraints, the iron triangle. Here's something every project manager knows by heart. Every project lives inside three constraints, and they're always connected. Scope, what exactly needs to be done. Time, how long you have to do it. Cost, how much money you can spend. These three form what's called the iron triangle. Change one, and the other two are affected. Always. Let's say you're building a website. You have a 2-month deadline and a fixed budget. Suddenly, the client wants to add 10 new features. That's a scope change. Now you have a problem. More scope means more work. More work means more time. More time means more cost. Something has to give. Either the deadline moves, or the budget increases, or some features get cut. That's the iron triangle in action, and managing that tension is one of the core skills of a great project manager. Now let's talk about how a project actually moves from idea to completion. Most projects follow what we call a project lifecycle. It's a structured set of phases that guide the work from beginning to end. There are 5 key phases. Phase 1. Initiation. This is where the project is born. Someone has an idea, or a business need, or a problem to solve. In this phase, you ask the most important question: should we even do this? You define the purpose, do a basic feasibility check, identify who's involved, and get formal approval to move forward. The main document here is called the project charter, a simple summary of what the project is, why it matters, and who's responsible. Phase 2. Planning. This is where the real work of project management begins. You figure out exactly what needs to be done, how long it will take, how much it will cost, what the risks are, and who will do what. You build a work breakdown structure, which is just a fancy term for breaking your big goal into smaller, manageable pieces. You create a schedule, often visualized using a Gantt chart, which shows tasks laid out on a timeline. And you establish your budget, so every dollar is accounted for before you spend it. Planning is unglamorous, but bad planning is the #1 reason projects fail. The more thorough your plan, the smoother your execution. Phase 3, execution. This is where the team gets to work. Tasks are assigned. Meetings happen. Deliverables get produced. As a project manager, your job here is to keep everything moving. Unblock your team. Protect your scope. Solve problems fast. Phase 4, monitoring and controlling. This phase actually runs parallel to execution. While the team is working, you're constantly checking. Are we on schedule? Are we within budget? Are we building what we said we'd build? If something drifts, you correct it early, before it becomes a crisis. Phase 5, closing. The work is done. The deliverable is handed over. The stakeholders sign off. Lessons are documented so the next project runs even better. Then, and only then, the project officially ends. These 5 phases form the backbone of almost every project management framework in the world. Waterfall vs Agile. 2 ways to run a project. Here's where things get really interesting. Not all projects are managed the same way. There are 2 major approaches, and understanding the difference will make you look very smart in any room. Waterfall. Waterfall is a linear, step-by-step approach. You complete one phase fully before moving to the next. Requirements are locked in at the beginning. The plan is fixed. You execute it. It works well when the requirements are clear, the scope is stable, and changes are unlikely. Think construction, manufacturing, or government projects. The upside. It's predictable. The downside. If requirements change midway, and in most industries they do, it becomes slow and expensive to adapt. Agile. Agile is the opposite mindset. Instead of planning everything upfront and delivering at the very end, Agile breaks the work into short cycles called sprints, usually 2 to 4 weeks long. At the end of each sprint, you deliver a working piece of the product. The team reviews it, gets feedback, adjusts, and then plans the next sprint. Agile is built for environments where requirements evolve: software development, digital products, creative work. It's faster to adapt. It keeps customers involved. And it catches problems early, before they grow. Scrum and Kanban are the 2 most popular Agile frameworks. Scrum uses time-box sprints with defined roles: the product owner, the Scrum Master, and the development team. Kanban uses a visual board where tasks move from to-do to in progress to done, giving the whole team instant visibility into what's happening. Most modern organizations use a hybrid, some waterfall structure where it makes sense, and some agile flexibility where it's needed. Why project management actually matters. Let me give you a reality check. Studies show that roughly 70% of projects fail. Not because the team was incompetent, not because the idea was bad, but because the project was poorly managed. No clear goal, no realistic plan, no communication, no accountability. Project management exists to fix exactly that. When done well, project management means your team knows exactly what to do and why. Your timeline is realistic, not wishful thinking. Your budget is tracked, not guessed. Risks are identified before they become disasters. And stakeholders stay informed, so there are no ugly surprises at the end. The organizations that invest in project management deliver better results, faster, with less waste. It's not a bureaucratic exercise. It's a competitive advantage. How to get started. So how do you actually get into project management? First, understand the fundamentals, which you now do because you just watched this video. Good start. Second, get hands-on. Volunteer to manage a project at work, no matter how small. Managing one real project teaches you more than 20 hours of theory. Third, learn the tools. Tools like Asana, Trello, Monday.com, Jira, and Microsoft Project are widely used across industries. Pick one and learn it. Fourth, consider a certification. The most recognized one globally is the PMP, Project Management Professional, offered by PMI. If you're newer to the field, start with the CAPM. If you're working in agile environments, look at the Certified Scrum Master or PMI ACP. Certifications don't just validate your knowledge. They signal to employers that you take this seriously. And the investment pays off. PMP certified project managers earn, on average, 20% more than their non-certified peers. That often translates to tens of thousands of dollars a year. Closing and call to action. Project management isn't just a job title or a corporate buzzword. It's a way of thinking, a discipline that turns ambitious goals into real outcomes, a skill that makes you more valuable in almost any profession, whether you're in tech, healthcare, finance, construction, or running your own business. You've now seen what a project is, what the life cycle looks like, how Waterfall and Agile differ, and why this discipline exists in the first place. That's the foundation. Everything else builds on this. If you want to go deeper, drop a comment below telling me which topic you want covered next. The iron triangle in detail? Agile frameworks? How to actually pass the PMP? I'll build the next video around your answers. If this video gave you value, like it, share it with someone who's about to manage their first project, and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. I'll see you in the next one.